What's going on, everyone? One of the big trades that people seem to really love the most out of all of the rumored trades is the San Antonio Spurs trade, right? Russell Westbrook and likely 2 first-round picks for Jakob, Josh Richardson, and Doug McDermott. They would also get back a $14 million trade exception, or if they don't take Jakob, they would also get back a $21 million trade exception that they could use to then go make other moves. And it's something that many people really want to see. Many people really love this. You get your dead-eye shooter, you get your 3-and-D wing. Josh Richardson has been balling out for the San Antonio Spurs, and you get a big-bodied center that can play so Anthony Davis could go play the 2 spot. But with Russell Westbrook moving to the bench and him kind of embracing that role, and was great. Although it was one game, we'll also see how he does going forward. But in that one game of him just embracing it, it really looked like such better balance. It looked like everybody had a understanding. It looked like Russ got to thrive and kind of be Russell Westbrook. And it really opens the door for, do the Lakers see what they have with Russell Westbrook and still try to work out a deal? Because Russ isn't the only movable piece, right? As great as Russell Westbrook is as like a trade chip, right? Just because of his salary, $47 million expiring salary, it's a way for the Lakers to basically completely wipe the books clean for most teams in the league. And you never know what's going to be on the horizon, right? So ideally, the Lakers would love to hold on Russell Westbrook as long as possible. They don't want to mess up cap flexibility, right, for going into next season. And so they're kind of in this weird rock in a hard place, so to speak, when it comes to trade. And if they don't end up winning and kind of turning it around a little bit here, then it makes it so tough, right? Because if the Lakers are 1-9, you almost are forced to do a trade. Otherwise, you're basically throwing the season away. But if they can just stay afloat and stay above water and keep Russell Westbrook, then that just potentially opens so many other doors, right? Come the trade deadline, there's going to be so many trades out there, some that we've probably never even heard of or never even thought of, just because teams are going to be trying to go one direction or another. Not just the Lakers, but many teams are really going to have potential to be buyers for guys that they might have not have been otherwise able to buy just because of the Victor Wembanyama sweepstakes and things like that. So the Lakers would be best to keep Russell Westbrook and maybe still work out a deal. Well, guess what? So we have 2 guys on the roster that really aren't performing in our guard depth. And Kendrick Nunn, look, I was so high on Kendrick Nunn. I hyped up Kendrick Nunn so much here on this channel. And preseason, he made me look good. Made me look like I was right. I was like, yes, this is the Kendrick Nunn I'm talking about. And basically, since preseason, he's been non-existent, a complete non-factor. And many people want to start trading him again, which I completely understand, right? We already have a logjam at point guard. Russell Westbrook is now willing to come off the bench, so that gives you even less of a need for other point guards. Sooner or later, Dennis Schroeder is going to come back. You still have LeBron James, who is arguably the best point guard on the team. So you just have this influx of guards that you would probably be best to move off of and maybe go get a more traditional guard. So Patrick Beverley, as great as I think Patrick Beverley has and can be, he really hasn't been much of a factor for the Lakers. I know he's really helpful in, practices and just like film, stuff like that, and it's good to have that leader, but we need guys that can come out and perform. We need guys that can come out and actually knock down shots and play solid defense and basically play both sides of the ball to really help elevate this team. And the good thing with Patrick Beverley is he's a $13 million expiring contract, so he's appealing to other teams. So is Kendrick Nunn. And you know what these 2 contracts match up beautifully with? The San Antonio Spurs deal. Now, you wouldn't be able to get all 3. You wouldn't be able to get Jakob, Josh Richardson, and Doug McDermott, but you could get 2 of the 3, right? So you could get say, Jakob and a Josh Richardson, get the 2 of them together, and you're basically swapping a big and a 3-and-D shooting guard with good length and size for a Patrick Beverley and a Kendrick Nunn. And guess what? You still get to keep Russell Westbrook to come off the bench, and if he continues to thrive, then that's great. If he doesn't, well, then you still would be able to move off of him. And very likely you wouldn't have to give up both draft picks, right? Because the whole reason the Spurs are looking at Russell Westbrook is because they're like, well, we're taking a $47 million contract that we're just going to waive. We're going to eat that money. Well, in this case, you're not doing that. In this case, you're getting two guys that you could play. Also, you're not giving us a trade exception, which is another thing of value that the Spurs are looking at. Not only are you getting 3 players in the Westbrook trade, but you're also getting like a $14 million trade exception. So why wouldn't we want both first-round picks? Well, in this case, that's not the same thing. You have 2 guys going for 2 guys, so it's an even swap. Lakers don't have to waive anybody, don't have to get rid of anybody, nothing. So they could still keep those roster spots open for if they do a potential Russell Westbrook trade. You get back Josh Richardson, who's been absolutely killing it. You get Jakob, who could be the starting center for the Lakers. San Antonio, they actually have a winning record, and that was not the goal at all, right? So you basically bail San Antonio out, so they no longer, you're basically taking 2 of their best players. Here, we'll take that. We'll give you a first-round pick because Josh Richardson and Jakob are worth the 2 firsts. And then they're taking on 2 guys that they can actually play, and they don't have to buy out. I mean, if they want to buy them out, that's up to them. But also, you're only buying out, 18 or 19 million as opposed to buying out 47 million, which is a huge difference. So the Spurs have less of a burden. The Lakers get what they want, and it's a win-win. It's a beautiful, mutual, beneficial win-win. And I actually really like this idea because you're swapping basically 2 point guards that aren't helping you at all very much right now for 2 guys that you know can really help. AD can now slot to the 4, and you basically got 2 guys that can be your starting 5, right? You could literally go Walker, right? Josh Richardson, LeBron, Anthony Davis, and Jakob. Like, there you go. There's your starting 5. Now you got Russ coming off the bench. You still have Dennis Schroeder who can come in and play. You got all your pieces still. You got Austin Reeves, Troy Brown, Toscano Anderson. You're good. You got your center. You got your wing, right? Obviously, we'd like some more shooting, and that's something that I've said, the Lakers need multiple deals. They need multiple players, multiple trades. They either need to flip Russell Westbrook for like 3 or 4 players, or they need to do a deal like this to get 2. And then if Russ can continue to be that 18-8-8 guy off the bench, and he can actually prove it to thrive in that role, then maybe you kind of give it a little time and see what the landscape is, right? You immediately get better, right? You're going to get a better scoring and offensive production with Jakob and Josh Richardson than you are right now with Kendrick Nunn and Patrick Beverley, right? So you get that guy. Josh Richardson is capable of giving you 30. We've seen him do it for the Spurs this year. And Jakob is a guy that helps with your rebounding, some defense, and is a low post threat. I do have a little concerns with Jakob as fit-wise with this team next to Anthony Davis and just running the floor and stuff. But I think this is a low-risk, high-reward type deal. Also, the Lakers don't lose any of their flexibility going forward, right? You still have a first. All these guys come off the books. So it's not like you're taking on long-term salary. So you can now keep your books clear if you want. If it works, great. Then you can re-sign all these guys. If for whatever reason, say the Kyrie deal comes up, right? And all of a sudden they want Kyrie, Kyrie Irving wants to come to the Lakers. The Nets want to move Kyrie because I think it's getting more and more likely that could be the case. Well, guess what? You still have Russell Westbrook and you have a first-round pick, right? And you have these 2 guys that you can move if you need to. If you wanted to take these 2 guys and go trade them in a first for Kyrie Irving, and maybe keep Russ's salary for flexibility or something, or maybe if he's thriving off the bench, right? Imagine having Anthony Davis, LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, and then Russell Westbrook as your 6th man. Come on. Stop. But it's something that could realistically be a possibility because the Lakers could go get these 2 guys and still keep Russell Westbrook. And then you could either keep these guys, trade Russell Westbrook, get Kyrie Irving, add Kyrie to these 2 guys on top of LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Or, even if it's not, right? Like, let's say you just trade Russell Westbrook. Say you do the Pacers deal, or you do the the Hornets deal. Right? Maybe you do move Jakob in a separate deal, or maybe you just go get Buddy Hield or something like that. I mean, you have options, you have flexibility, right? Or you could go do a Hornets deal, right? Take 1 first and go get Gordon Hayward and Terry Rozier. And now you got Jakob, you got, Terry Rozier, you got Josh Richardson, you got everything. You got your shooting now, you got your defense, you got your wing depth, you got so much potential, so much flexibility. A deal that is like far-fetched. Like I said, I mean, it literally matches beautifully, like seamlessly. Like Josh Richardson and Poeltl is like 21 million, and the Lakers' outgoing salary is like 19 million, something like that. It matches beautifully with the 125% rule. You even swap 2-2. Lakers are obviously going to have to give up some assets, but if you can give up 1 first, or maybe you only give up like a pick swap in a couple seconds, something like that, because you are doing the Spurs a favor and you're not giving them Russell Westbrook. So you're still holding on to Russell Westbrook. You have Russell Westbrook as that 6-man threat off the bench if you need to. You still maintain your flexibility. And if you want to, you'd still have one, if not maybe hopefully both of your first round picks. Which, if I'm being honest, I think you're going to have to give up 1 first, which I'm okay with. If you're getting Josh Richardson and Jakob, like, I'm okay with giving up 1 first. Well, now you still have another first with Russell Westbrook. Maybe you go do the Hornets deal. And now, not just that, but you still have Matt Ryan and you still have Wenyen Gabriel that you can waive. If you were to do a 3-for-1 swap, you just rehauled your entire roster, right? You essentially could trade Russell Westbrook. You could trade Kendrick Nunn and Patrick Beverley for Josh Richardson, Jakob, and then you could go get Gordon Hayward, Kelly Oubre, and Terry Rozier or something like that, or PJ Washington or whatever. Like you could work it out to where you get both, or you just get 2, Gordon Hayward, Terry Rozier. However, it doesn't matter. Like the point is, you're basically taking 2 or 3 guys that aren't helping you a ton or that are a clunky fit, and you're getting 3 to 4 or 5 guys that can actually make an impact, actually come in, be starting level, but it also makes it so you don't have to rush. You can be patient and let things unfold if you're the Lakers. You don't have to immediately trade Russell Westbrook in order to get a deal done. Like if I was the Lakers, I'd be looking at, Patrick Beverley, Kendrick Nunn type deals for guys that are more of a need now, right? You could take those 2 guys and go get Josh Richardson and Jakob. Like, that might be better than Buddy Hield and Miles Turner, fit-wise, right? Because you're getting a legit 3-and-D guy who, yes, Buddy Hield is a better 3-point shooter, but he doesn't give you the defense. And Josh Richardson shooting like 40% this year from 3. So you're getting the same shooting percentage, but you're getting a guy that can actually stop somebody on the other end and is a better overall scorer, right? And then you're getting a guy in Jakob who's, yes, he doesn't have the shooting that Miles Turner does, but he's healthier, and he's a guy that can give you the same production, if not more. So that might actually be a better solution, and you don't have to give up both firsts in that deal. You don't have to trade Russell Westbrook, so you still have that trade chip, which is the desirable chip that everyone wants. You could completely rehaul this roster and just become so much better. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I want to hear from you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. What would you think of this type of deal? Would you like this deal? So again, just to paraphrase, Kendrick Nunn, Patrick Beverley, and a first-round pick for Jakob and Josh Richardson. Is this a deal that you would do? Is this a deal that you wouldn't? However you feel, let me know. Good, bad, ugly, somewhere in between. Let me know down in the comment section below.